Okay, hey everybody, Dan here, stockmarketmentor.com and Fitzpatrick Trading Group. First of all, to members, the strategy session today is a little bit longer than usual. And the reason is because I went into kind of a basically like a tutorial on what's happening in the Middle East and how it impacts not just oil, but inflation, gold, interest rates, things like that. And the idea is that, first of all, you got to pay attention to just what the price action is in stocks. That's really, really important. But it makes it easier for you to do that if you kind of have an understanding of what's going on. And so definitely check that out today, guys, and even get the transcript and study it because I think this is really important for your development. If you're not a member, maybe you want to take this opportunity to at least try a $7 trial for 14 days. You can hoodwink me, go in, get all that information, and then cancel, and I won't even know it. Okay, so anyway, for you to consider. So, Halliburton, I'm looking at all these oil stocks that you would think are going to really benefit from what's happening. And they've all kind of gone up. Chevron did, Exxon, all of these, but they're kind of like almost one day wonders. They fell back down today. And so I encourage you to look at the uptrend on all of these things. Definitely, you want to keep that in mind. But if you look at the difference between like Slob, Schlumberger, this one totally fell out of bed. Halliburton did not. And so Halliburton's the stock that I think is the easiest to hold through this because it's holding this 20-day moving average. And so that's good for two reasons. First of all, because it's holding the 20-day moving average, holding on to it is a good thing because you're making money on it. But also, it's a good thing because now you know when the trade stops working. If Halliburton starts falling below here, then you say, all right, well, this 20-day moving average dynamic is off the table. And so maybe I need to kind of sell this stock. I mean, we're not getting these sky high, screaming high prices like a lot of people were thinking about, were thinking was going to happen because of what's going on in the Middle East. We're not getting that. And so you just got to go back to the chart. And in my book, what the objective is on these oil stocks is, okay, I want to trade the one if they're all moving higher, that's great. If they're not, I don't care about them. But if they're all moving higher, I want to trade the one that's the easiest to trade because it's not like there's so much volatility that you can make a crap load of money really fast if you time it just right. None of these are moving like that. They're all rewarding you, but if that's the dynamic where, yeah, they're all basically moving higher, but I'm not going to get rich on any of them. All right, well, do the one that doesn't jump your heart rate and your blood pressure up so much. And I think to me, that's Halliburton. And so you could buy it literally, put a stop like right under here. That's the way I would trade it. Now, members, I may wind up, just because I'm doing this video, I may wind up putting this on the active trade list tomorrow, but only if it looks like this. I can't move this in the middle, but like that's what I want to see. I want to see the price look like it gaps down, closes up, right near the high of the day would be awesome, but that's the way I would want to trade this thing. So anyway, that's all I have for you. Again, members, check that out, man. You definitely want to look at what I've gone through today because I think it's super important. All right, I'll see you guys next time.